Good morning and welcome. Today I have my friend Kenny here with me. Kenny, how are you?
Pretty good. How about you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no, good to have you, man. I'm doing very well. I always say my feet hit the ground, so have to be grateful for that. So Kenny, we've talked a little bit before this. You're huge into AI and technology, but before we get there, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? Where are you from? Are you a student?
So I grew up in Grand Island, Nebraska. Lived there for probably 12 years. My mom, when I was younger, she ended up getting deported, so I kind of moved away. I moved to Columbus, you know what I'm saying? That was a pretty big change on my life. Then I went from Columbus to Platte Center, went back to Columbus. Then my mom came back, which really happy about it. We moved back to Grand Island. I ended up going to high school there, went to Grand Island Senior High, and now I'm here in Lincoln at the Rake School and just working away.
No, for sure. Thanks for sharing that. I know it's hard, and I'm sure it will come back up. So thanks again for sharing that. But now you're a student at UNL. You do some really cool stuff with technology. So what are you up to?
So there's two main things that I'm really working on. The first one is my main startup, which is Find You. And Find You is an app that helps students find their perfect college. So a lot of the other tools out there on the market are you just kind of get lists, you kind of view information, and we really want to transform that information for students and make it personalized for them. So to me, there's no reason a student that's interested in tech and stuff like that shouldn't be getting schools that are perfectly matched for him. So we're really trying to transform that process. And then the second one, which we just started 2 days ago, is called Makers. And the vision behind Makers is we want to help business owners develop software. We've already been doing it on the side and doing it for various clients, but we realized, what if we just come together and, just try to get a unit behind it. So that's been the goal with that.
That's awesome. Hot off the press, you said 2 days ago, so it's new. What kind of software are you building for clients or companies?
Honestly, pretty much anything. Anything from AI automation, websites, apps. I mean, we have experience building pretty much everything. I'm honestly one of the least experienced people on the team. I'm more of a designer. The rest of them, we have 2 Microsoft interns right now. We have a Capital One intern. Very talented people. I'm just a designer, so.
No, everyone kind of plays a role. So, as you think about your company and what you plan to do, what's the overall mission or vision? Where do you want to go?
Honestly, we always joke around, but our goal in the future is to make it some sort of venture studio. Now, if you haven't heard what a venture studio is, basically we want to build a startup every single week.
Wow.
When I looked at myself in the future, I don't want to be a CEO founder and just have a bunch of employees. I want to build up the community, and whenever some founder has an idea, back them with money and the resources and work on them to get that idea launched. So a VC firm would normally just give the money. We also want to work with them just to get it launched. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a Capital Plus where, all right, here's the money, but here's everything else you need to become successful.
100%.
Yeah, it's funny. So before this, we were talking a little bit. You mentioned you have a co-founder, and I was telling you my co-founder is AI, which some people think it's crazy, but it's real. So how are you using AI, and how is it changing entrepreneurship, software development, design, really everything?
I would say the 2 main tools that I use right now is Claude Code and ChatGPT. So Claude Code, it literally does all the development. So I can code without Claude Code, but if I use something like Claude Code or all these other tools, I can probably do the work of 10 software engineers at once.
Right.
At the level I think it's more of you're being more of a manager than an actual developer. So you're not writing code, but you still got to manage and tell them exactly what to do.
What to do.
And then the second one is ChatGPT. Everyone uses it. If I need to send an email out and I got to update and make sure it sounds right, that's probably the main thing I do with that. So.
No, for sure. And what you just described is so important because the barriers are lower than ever, which is good and bad. Now you're going to have people saying, oh, I'm a software developer. They've never written a line of code, but AI makes it more, I'll say, attainable for every founder, every entrepreneur.
I think, in my opinion, the way it's evolving is going to be just imagine in 5 years, if it keeps evolving at the rate it is, I think anyone will be able to build any type of software. I think right now there's still some barriers in you got to know how to prompt, you got to have some of that background information to really utilize it at its full potential. But I think in the future, they're going to get it to a point where you have an idea, you will be able to fully build it out.
Absolutely.
So in my opinion, moving forward, I think one of the biggest advantages you can have is some sort of an audience. Because I think if everyone's able to build and do all these different things, because right now, the software is really the thing getting evolved, so everyone's like, wow, coding's dead and all that stuff. But that's because all the software engineers are working on the software, because that's the biggest bottleneck. In the future, people are going to start trying to automate business, marketing, and all these different things. I think it's going to get to a point where most of it is going to be streamlined. And then at that point, it's just going to be, everyone can just develop and create stuff, right?
Right.
So the way you benefit is having an influence, having a distribution center, whether it's social media, whether it's some sort of following, because now your product is able to get through all that noise.
Right. You have to stand out in, what do they call it, a Red Sea?
Yep.
So, for sure. And it's interesting. I was listening to a podcast not long ago, and Elon Musk talked about how AI has pretty much surpassed human intelligence. If you think about large language models, we've fed it pretty much everything we know, everything we have written, and they're at this point where they're developing synthetic data, which is crazy.
Yep.
And AI is talking to itself, or different agents are working together to make data, stories, information. So we'll see where it goes or how it impacts everyone, but it's get on the train now before it's too late.
100%.
So as you think about your business, one of your new, I'll say businesses, how can we support you?
I would say the main thing would be literally if anyone just even wants to just talk about how AI can be used within their company. I work at Nelnet right now, and that's my entire job. So I'll sit down and try to find different ways I can incorporate AI, and even within there, I've already done 10 projects over my internship over the summer. So, just literally anything AI related, software, anything like that, I would say that's the biggest thing, just having those conversations.
What tips would you give to someone that's new? I got a haircut yesterday, and my barber told me, someone said I should never use AI because it uses a lot of water. Granted, it is bad for the environment. We need to figure that out. But what about the newbies, the skeptics?
I would say one thing people often don't do is ask it what it's able to see or understand. So one thing I always see a lot of is people will try to ask it a question they might not have the context or information to give them an answer on.
Right.
So what if you just ask it what do you know, or what do you know about this topic, or what can you do, what can you answer? That way you know its full capabilities, because it's like asking a brand new intern, go do this very complex task.
Right.
Obviously the intern isn't going to be able to, but if you ask the intern, hey, what experience do you have, what background do you have, how can you do it, I think that is probably the biggest point of view I have for that. And honestly, just try it. A lot of people are scared to just send a message. Just send a message.
Yeah.
Get it out there. If you start getting really bad answers, just start a new chat. Very simple.
Right. And I'll build on that. Most people don't know this, but with AI, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you ask terrible questions, you don't give it the context it needs, you aren't going to get good answers. Yep. But if you have high quality, well thought out questions, you explain the scenario, it's going to give you better insights and better information. So all AI usage is not the same.
I will say one more point. When I think about AI, I think about it from 3 dimensions. So if anyone's ever interested in developing AI or anything, the first dimension is your LLM. That's your ChatGPT, Grok, Claude. That's the thing actually working it. The second one is the context. Now, if you were to ask ChatGPT something about your business or something, it probably doesn't know about it, right? But if you connect a doc or a screenshot or the text, now it has that context to make that, right? That's a huge bottleneck, and that's what a lot of software engineers are working on, is how do we get the context from all these existing tools like Slack, Notion, all these different things, and put it in the LLM. Now, the third one, I think this was going to take a little bit longer, is the UI, UX, right? Right now, whenever we use AI, we're used to a chatbot, right? I think in 5 years, there's going to be a more intuitive way, whether it's a voice assistant or something like that, just a way for how does the customer actually interact with it. Imagine we just had some really big AI that's able to connect with every other provider. I think that would be ideal for a customer, just having one tool that does everything.
I think that would be cool, and I agree. The chat works for now, but 3 years, 5 years, might even be 1 year, who knows, it will change. So spot on. So as we all wind down, any final words or pieces of advice?
I would say embrace the future, you know. Again, I'm 20 years old, so I probably don't have the full capability of everything, but I would say like the biggest thing that's helped me grow as a person is just embracing it, right? Instead of being afraid of it or thinking it can replace me, how can I utilize it to make myself more valuable and actually get more done?
Yeah, spot on. And I'm 10 years older than you. I'm 30, but I was still too young to take advantage of the internet when it first rolled out. This is like that second coming where it's so new. We don't know what you'll be able to build or what the future looks like. But it starts with, like you said, just embracing what we have now and using AI for more than just writing emails, but doing whatever you want. So with that, we will say we are wrapped.